Talk to Me really took the world by storm. A small, independent feature made by two YouTubers grossed over $90 million on a $4.5 million budget, becoming A24's highest grossing horror and second highest grossing feature overall. But putting numbers aside for a second, Talk to Me is also just very good. The directors, Danny Filippo and Michael Filippo, also known as Raka Raka, seem like awesome dudes, and the story behind the making of the film is really interesting too. I actually fell down a bit of a rabbit hole researching all of that in prep for this essay, and it's truly fascinating, so I recommend you do some Googling too. One of the most famous scenes in Talk to Me, and dare I say one of the most famous scenes of the year so far, is the montage sequence when the characters play around with the hand. I really wanted to make a video essay breaking down some film montage, and honestly, this is the one that immediately came to mind, so I just decided to roll with it. Are there even better montages throughout cinema history? Absolutely, but this one is pretty damn great too, and I think it's interesting to break down why is that exactly. A key for any montage sequence is variety and moving the story forward. Every frame should follow the last with purpose and at an upwards trajectory. I'll get into breaking the montage down frame by frame a little later, but for now, looking at the whole sequence, it works because it serves a vital purpose to the overarching plot. This purpose also moves the story forward. This purpose is to create a vibe. This sequence is atmospheric first and anything else second. It creates an aesthetic, a familiar ambience that is not only expositional to the story, but also provides character information. We've all been at that party in high school when something like this happens. Excluding the hand that summons spirits, of course, but we're all familiar with this living young and wild and free atmosphere of an evening. The characters are teenagers, they're naive, they don't really know what they're getting themselves into, and they don't really care either. They're just having fun. The scene creates a wonderful false sense of security when it comes to the hand. It's treated only with the purpose of entertainment and like a toy, and the characters are not really afraid of it. As viewers, this also creates a false sense of security in us. Even though, of course, we know that things are not as simple as they seem, the montage still predispositions us to relax a little, which allows the scene following immediately this one to hit even harder. What's also interesting about this montage sequence is that it's the first time we're presented with the idea that the hand is an allegory for drugs or addiction. The kids just can't get enough, it's intoxicating and they're on a high. They're excited to get a turn in, they want to do it without really thinking of any possible consequences, it's just the feeling that matters. Look at this shot here. Does it remind you of anything drug-related maybe? And what is going on is really quite dark and heavy, but the kids don't really seem to acknowledge that at all. A good example is this shot, which is maybe a spirit in pain praying not to go to hell. We don't really know, but a frame like this, a heavy concept like this, is just thrown in there as if it doesn't matter because, well, to the kids, it doesn't matter. The idea that the hand is an allegory for drugs or addiction echoes throughout the rest of the film, but I think this montage in particular really makes it shine, not only because it's the first time that this idea is introduced, but because said introduction is created through an euphoric atmosphere that is the montage itself. And of course, each cut is vital too. It's not only the sequence that pushes the story ahead, it's the individual frames within it. There is a bucket of information in this montage. For example, here. A cut which shows that Mia is always close to Riley. They have a tight relationship. This contrasts what is about to happen to Riley. Or here. This cut deepens the relationship between these two characters and proves a commitment imbalance. Or here. A cut which shows Jade, who was previously against doing all of this, getting into it too. This moment, like the first cut I mentioned, also contrasts what's about to happen to her brother in the next scene. Bits of information like these are scattered throughout the whole montage and really key to understanding why it feels so engaging. Something new is happening in every frame. The music is, of course, incredibly important here, as it not only glues the entire piece together, but really makes it what it is. This is a fantastic music choice. So much so that I've been hearing it on every Instagram reel for 6 months now, and I wondered why Raka Raka went with this piece specifically, as they seem like the sort of directors that have a particular vision and stay true to that vision. This is what Danny and Michael have said about the choice of song.
And then I came across that Edith Piaf remix. It's like old and new. So it's like, just like the kids are like a current generation using an ancient relic, the music was like a modern remix of an old song. So it's like, it made sense. And when I found it, I was like, oh, this is the perfect vibe.
Yes.
And
The editing of the montage is fantastic for many reasons mentioned already. The editing is the reason the atmosphere exists. It's the reason that the story moves forward. It's the reason all these details exist within the sequence. And also, the editing is great because it responds to the music. This creates a unique music video feel to the montage, which makes the sequence feel distinct from the rest of the movie, and so it really stands out. The editing responds to the music, but it feels like the music responds to the choreography too.
And the song wasn't picked in post. Like, this song was playing on set. Like, we always knew that this song was going to be the one.
Which you can clearly see as the actors' bodies respond to the rhythm. Look at how the actors are directing the sounds. Look at this moment here. Or this moment here. Or this moment here. Danny and Michael say it better, actually.
Yes. And that's a hand composer move. Like, he feels like he's like controlling the song, and then also
the choreography conducts the music. The vibe doesn't exist around the characters create the vibe. An awesome detail that furthers this concept is this moment, which alludes to the idea that when the characters are not under the influence of the hand, the music fades away. The music only exists when the feeling exists too. I do think this montage is really spectacular, as yes, it manages to create such a unique environment in such a short time span and provides so much information to further the story of the film, but also It's just so damn fun. The reason for all of this is, of course, what we mentioned already, but even if you distance yourself from the depth of it all, this montage is simply an enjoyable and rewatchable piece of filmmaking, which we don't always get these days. The fact that this was shot in 2 hours is ridiculous, by the way.
2 hours left to get 50 setups.
Oh my God.
And our first AD said to us, it's mathematically impossible to get this many shots. And then we're like, yeah, let us control the set.
Yeah.
Just let us control the set for these 2 hours. We had 2 cameras, a boombox, and then we just like, we're like ordering everyone, get the gym in, actors over here, you the makeup. And we're playing music and we're just like riffing with the actors and then like going through these shots.
There's like a really extreme chaotic energy in the air and then the camera's just flying around. Like this is the time on set that it felt like a Raka shoot.
And this is truly showing of Raka Raka's talent. And to finish off, I'll say what I think is the one singular, most important proverb in filmmaking. The devil is in the details. Raka Raka have managed to include a hell of a lot of details in this scene, and they've done an amazing job to create a more than coherent montage. But my favorite, and I'll leave you at this, are the translated lyrics of the song that Mia sings while possessed. Thank you so much for watching another video essay, guys. I really do appreciate it. Please remember to like the video below if you've enjoyed it and to subscribe to the channel. And do let me know in the comments if you want to see more scene breakdowns like this one. This is a bit of a new format for me, so I'm still trying to figure it out, but let me know if you've enjoyed it and I'll try and do more. Thank you so much.